Welcome to the Maple City Minute, and I'm Chris Castle. I'm here with Ryan McDonnell, who is the owner of One Little Blessing here in downtown Norwalk, Ohio. Ryan, how you doing?
Good, Chris. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for being with us. So, One Little Blessing, there's so much under the one roof there as far as the inventory that you've got. How would you describe your shop?
Absolutely, Chris. Definitely a gift shop. Each person has a unique experience there. So for some people, it may be a gift shop. Other people, it may be a memorial shop. It's all about how they connect with it. But everything from Christian goods, memorial inspiration, kind of clocks, mirrors, wall art, and even stuff we custom build ourselves.
Well, I've spent hours there with and without cameras, and I know that I've still only seen a fraction of the stock that you've got. If you had to guess at this point, how many pieces of inventory do you think you've got there?
Sure. Definitely well over 50,000 now. It's constantly changing, and that's what makes it really fun. Is as people come in, they're like, "Wow, this has changed." And it's not just us moving stuff around. We get boxes every day, shipments, and right now we've never been in retail before. So right now it's about finding out who we are as well. People come in and they learn about us, but we're also learning from them. They'll fill us in on what they think could help us really become a great store.
Right. Oh man, you are a great store.
Thank you.
Early on. Speaking of this early on, how long have you been in business now?
About 15 months now.
Okay.
And that first year is critical.
Right.
I know that the first couple years especially, but that first year of really learning about how you operate and kind of identifying with people is huge. Building that relationship and I always tell people it's an amazing experience. I never thought I'd be part of something like this. To some people it's a gift shop, but to me it's so much more. They come in and you spend that time talking to them, and you get to learn so much from them and about them and their family.
Right.
So.
Okay, so why'd you choose Norwalk? Why Norwalk? I know that you have owned or do own basically retail space in other towns, and yet you chose to bring this business here to downtown Norwalk. What was the appeal there?
Sure, absolutely. So originally we were going to open it in Monroeville and just do online shipping. Mm-hmm. We had a building there and thought, hey, how can we utilize this building and help the city? Well, this building had opened up, so Mark was great to deal with. Everything preparing the building. You've been obviously been in it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was other work as well, but really, I mean, we have 6 kids. Being here in Norwalk, I love Norwalk. There's something about the community, the people, and I think the direction that people want it to go. I mean, we see right now, especially with Texas and everything, people uniting, but I feel like we have a lot of that in Norwalk with that vision we have.
Yeah, for sure.
I see the future of where I want to be as well as the future of where Norwalk's headed.
Okay, so speaking of online sales, you've got a great website, tons of stuff on the website. I can only imagine how much time you put into the online store and the physical location, but how much of a percentage would you say are online sales accounting for right now in your business model?
Absolutely. It's hard to tell exactly. I don't pay as much attention to that as I do to the store. Really, now we're starting to get that data after being open for a year, and that's a huge plus.
Right.
But I would say overall, probably 30 to 35%. It was greater initially, but we cut back on it because some of that product, people will come in and buy it in the store, and we'll run out of inventory.
Yeah.
So right now, the website, it's changing. So I've been working on it for about a week, and there's a bunch of different ways that we're kind of changing it to suit the needs of Norwalk, as well as a little further demographics. Norwalk, you'll be able to go on there for memorial gifts and pick them out right then, put the card with it, whatever you want it to say. It'll have the cards on there as well, and it'll be delivered within an hour to the funeral homes.
Nice.
And that's free delivery. Yeah. So that's the way we're trying to make it a little bit easier for people that maybe are in a time jam.
You're juggling so much with that shop, and I know that it started out with you and your wife, Sarah, running the place. Surely you've got some extra help by now, right?
We do. So we're getting ready to get some more in. We have some other things opening coming up. Some just went back to school.
Okay.
So they were great. Megan, this one girl who works for us, there's a gentleness that has to go with it.
Right.
People come in and Maybe it's that memorial gift I mentioned. There's another lady who came in and she's like, what do you have that deals with forgiveness? And she's like, there's somebody I want to forgive. They've asked for my forgiveness, and I want to give them with the forgiveness. And I thought, how neat, I mean, just it's to be there for somebody with that type of gift that means so much to them. It's really unique.
Yeah.
It's like I've waited my whole life for something like this. I know that may sound weird, but a lot of the other things I've done, they've never had that meaning that this does. And I think a lot of that, I had lost my dad a couple years ago,
Right.
And I think going through that, while it was one of the biggest things I've ever went through, it was also one of the greatest because of the lessons I took from it. And I apply that, at the store every day. Just being so appreciative. People don't have to come in. We want them to.
So it's more than a retail shop, obviously. I mean, you've actually got to be mindful. It's almost like a bedside manner that a doctor would have. You've got to be mindful of where these folks are right now in their lives and what has brought them there for these gifts.
Chris, a lady the other day came in, and she was asked about memorial gifts, and she had lost her daughter the day before. And you just kind of stop. And, it's a daily reminder of life. It's amazing. And, people will come in, a lady was talking about losing her husband, and, I was talking about my dad, and it's the relationship you build. Yeah, it's nothing I ever imagined it would be.
Yeah.
It's far better.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got one of the greatest parking lots in town on the back side of the building.
Yeah.
Do you utilize that, or do you find that customers tend to use the parking along West Main Street more than they do the back lot?
Absolutely. So we don't utilize the back lot yet. We want to coming up, but it's kind of, a little bit of work needs done back there. Mark said, "Hey, we'll get it done for you right away." And I said, "Mark, just, no problem. Take your time, because we're really focused on up front of the store initially here.
Right.
We wouldn't be ready to open that yet back there. We have a bathroom that is back there. There's a long hallway, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to use that as an entrance.
Yeah.
My office is back there, so yeah.
Well, you've got an amazing space. I mean, it's a beautiful store. It is one of the gems of the city of Norwalk. It's certainly become an anchor destination point within downtown Norwalk, and I think that it complements some of the other shops. You're on the west side, which we are as well. This studio is about a block, one building away actually, from your store. I think that you being on the west side, you certainly complement your neighbors in Hills Interiors and a lot of those shops down there on the east side, When Pigs Fly, Patina 46. You've got very different inventory than those people do down there on East Main, but I think that they definitely complement one another, so that if you've got pedestrian traffic here in downtown Norwalk, they're going to take their time walking from shop to shop. And I think it's great that you chose to locate on West Main, because it does propel that pedestrian traffic all the way down here. And I guess back in the day, before 15 months ago, those folks probably would have walked down to Barry's for a meal, and that might have been as far west as many of them got.
Yep.
But now, with one little blessing here, they've got a reason to come even further west.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's been one of the neatest things, a neatest business experience, I should say, watching the way that businesses interact here in Norwalk. Mm-hmm. And by that, like I used to do deliveries for When Pigs Fly. I do pickups, bring it to the store, and deliver it. And Lisa was great to deal with all of them. And people come down constantly, and they're like, When Pigs Fly sent me, Amy's Boutique, Patina 46. They go through the list. And I don't even know how to show that appreciation. Of course, we send them back, but how a business can't function today without having that.
Right.
And to see that kindness, all those little things kind of, teach you a lesson. And I like to pay attention to it, because these are people who have been in business here longer than I have. And so it gives me that, that insight on really how I need to make sure to treat people the same way when they open a business.
Yeah.
It's awesome. People every day, Barry sent me, all these places sent me. And it's amazing.
Well, having worked with businesses over the last 3 or 4 years here in Norwalk, I can say that that's something that we've got culturally as a town, is that everybody tends to look out for one another. And we know that when it comes to the people, but for folks to hear that the businesses act that way as well, that those businesses look out for one another as well, just like the people of Norwalk do. It's a pretty unique city when it comes to that.
You mentioned about our products being different. I wouldn't touch something that somebody else sells down there just because of that. We specifically, and some things, of course, could overlap. I mean, it's hard to identify every product that they're going to be bringing in or that we do. But yeah, there's zero question. That loyalty exists, and it's kind of unspoken in a way. I just wouldn't do that to them because I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so folks can find you online at onelittleblessing.com or at Facebook.
Yep.
Any other avenues that people could find you on the internet?
Right now, those are the main two.
Okay.
We're kind of trying to figure out our path. We know the path and the steps we want to take, but taking those steps and doing it logically and analytically correct,
Right.
making sure everything falls in place correctly. Other businesses, I've done it where growth can be too fast. This we had worked on for so many years that, I mean, we've been planning this forever. So, even building the shelves, I knew kind of where I was going. Seeing it fall into place was really great. But now, I mean, that's, I think, where that true entrepreneurship comes in and the lessons I've learned from other people.
Well, you can tell you planned it for years because your brand, from day one, you had a brand that looked like a franchised brand. I mean, it was such a unique brand, and even down to your font choices and your color choices. The website looks like the retail shop. Everything works so well together. You can definitely tell that you planned that out. I love seeing a mom and pop shop be able to brand itself like that, because so often you've got the major corporations who corner the market on solid branding.
Yeah.
And you could have the greatest mom and pop shop in the world, but a lot of times it looks like a mom and pop shop basically because of the branding. And from day one, you guys had your branding down pat. I mean, it's a beautiful shop.
Thank you.
If you guys have not been down here yet, come down to West Main Street in downtown Norwalk. Check out One Little Blessing. Check them out online. Like their Facebook page. What are your hours of operation right now if people do want to stop down?
Sure. So Monday through Friday is 10 to 6. Saturday and Sunday is 10 to 3.
Okay.
But really, if there's something people call different times with memorial stuff or something that's important last minute, I'm there all the time. We've had people knock on the door. We've had times where we were supposed to close at 3 and closed at 7 because people come. And it's one of those things, I'll definitely put in the time. I'll stay as long as people want, not because of, making money, but because people have a great time. And I have a great time being there. It's funny. People are like, wow, you're here a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I love it.
I see your truck out there a lot.
There's something about it. We've had people come in and they just say, I feel so like I fit in here. I feel so comfortable. And that's what it's about. It's not about buying anything. It's about the experience.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a great experience. I mean, just
Thank you.
walking through the doors, it's unlike anything else here in the city of Norwalk, or just about anywhere, to be honest. So I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Thanks so much for being with me, and congratulations on the success of the last 15 months. Looking very forward to seeing how you guys continue to grow this thing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah.